when it's all over.
Yeah, so keep in mind, we're kind of working in two different systems. So you've got the colder air, it's a little bit drier, it's coming in from the north. Certainly that helps when you're talking about snowfall accumulation on the roadways, but it is eating away at some of the better snow opportunities for some. I'm not saying that that's going to be the case for everybody, because this is a system snow after all that's moving through the area. So that gives you that widespread opportunity of picking up on those snow accumulations late tonight, headed through early tomorrow morning. And then, like we said, a little bit of lake effect is possible, especially east of Cleveland as we go through the day tomorrow. Winter weather advisories have been posted for several of our counties. You look west of Cleveland, you look south of Cleveland, including places like Canton, Dover, Worcester, Mansfield, Sandusky. This is kind of where we expect some of the worst of the conditions, though I'm not minimizing what you're likely going to see out on the east side headed through tonight, even early tomorrow morning. We've already seen that be the case. You hear our team say this all the time. There's nothing magical about these county borders, and I think that is exactly what's going to be the case headed into the overnight hours tonight. You can see these widely scattered snow showers moving through some of our southern communities out to the west. West side of Cleveland has been dealing with some of this as well, and when you look up towards Menor, northern Geauga, even Ashtabula counties, we've seen our heavier bouts of snow still moving through the region. And it's all because of this area of low pressure feeding in some of that moisture from the south. Now, this is the western edge just south of Chicago. So once this continues to clear out of here, our system snow starts to come to a close tonight, and then it's more so the concern that you get some enhancement thanks to Lake Erie headed in through the day tomorrow. So next few hours, I would definitely plan on there being some slick spots. You can even tell where this on-ramp trying to get onto 90 has gotten a little greasy out there just because of some of that accumulating snow. That's going to be your biggest battle headed into tonight with that south wind coming in about 5 to 10 miles per hour or so, and temperatures overnight resting upper teens to about lower 20s. Again, in terms of accumulation, about 1 inch to 3 inches is what we expect widespread across the area. Then we get into your Saturday. Temperatures will slowly start to improve, especially by the afternoon. We're into the mid to upper 20s to lower 30s, but the wind is going to pick up a little bit. That's going to give you a wind chill factor, mostly teens to 20s, so do expect it to still be on the chillier side. By Sunday, things start to take a bigger turn. Of course, we'll talk more about that coming up in your first alert forecast, but first, we've got our...
Fortunately, yes, it's snowing out there in some areas, and it's going to be a cold weekend. And now we're going to bring in meteorologist Erika Paige to tell us how long this stuff is going to last.
Yeah, you could kind of say that what went through Dallas yesterday, in part, is coming through Northeast
coming
Ohio
through us. Okay.
Yeah, so
all right.
Unfortunately, we're not done with it just yet. It's going to take a little bit of time for us to finally see the system snow clear out of here. That's what we mean by the area-wide snow. It's more of that system. It's associated with an area of low pressure. So it gives us a more widespread opportunity of picking up on snow. Generally speaking, we're not expecting a ton out of it. About 1 inch to 2 inches will be more common. There will be a couple spots that will likely tip the scale closer to about 3 inches. And then the system snow departs late tonight, and you'll get that northerly steering wind, which will help generate some lake effect snow. And for those of you wondering, no, the lake is not completely frozen over just yet, though we are starting to see some ice accumulation, especially closer to kind of the shoreline in the western basin of Lake Erie. So that means a lake effect is still possible across Lake Erie and now into Northeast Ohio. So we'll watch that headed into tomorrow. Watch for some slick spots, a reduction in visibility, because at times this heavier snow is going to kind of slow you down a little bit more. And that's why you see some places under that winter weather advisory. Doesn't mean places like the east side of Cleveland through Lake County, northern Geauga, Ashtabula counties, you're not dealing with the impacts tonight. You are. This is a widespread impact, but we just have a little bit better moisture down to the south, which is why you're seeing essentially along that US 30 corridor, visibility down to about a mile, mile and a half or so. So you're going to run into some of these changing conditions as this snow continues to move through parts of Northeast Ohio. So please just give yourself a little bit of extra time to get where you need to be. This is our First Alert camera network out in the Madison area. And if you look closely at some of those roadways, you can tell we are starting to get that accumulation, and I've seen ODOT crews out here on I-90 as well, so they're trying their best to keep up with it. But again, if the snowfall rate's high enough, they're going to struggle to try and keep up with that higher snowfall rate. Right now, closer to the lakeshore, heaviest of the snow is offshore. We'll watch to see if that kind of tries to drift into our northern snowbelt communities. Otherwise, the main focus down to the south, where we are seeing some of those higher snowfall rates. The reason for that is an area of low pressure moved through Dallas yesterday. It's bringing in a little bit more of that moisture our direction while battling some of the drier air that's just up to the north. That's why not everybody is seeing some of the heavy snow right now. It's because you have a battle between those two different air masses of which one's going to end up winning out. You'll see the widespread snow coverage continues as we go through the rest of tonight as temperatures eventually drop upper teens to about lower 20s by the time we kind of get through those overnight hours. By early tomorrow morning, most of this system snow clears to the east. We could still have a few light snow showers across the area, but the main focus then at this point will be east of Cleveland as you're getting that better opportunity for some lake effect snow to develop, and that'll be a little bit of a battle for us kind of as we go through the rest of the day tomorrow. Outside of Saturday, things quiet down by Sunday. That's good news for us. We get a couple peaks of sunshine in here, temperatures warming to near freezing. It's been several days since we've even seen temperatures near that point, so that is a pretty good win for us here headed into the second half of the weekend. Unfortunately, though, just doesn't last long. We've got another bout of Arctic air on the way through early this next week. As always, we will